Welcome to Peri-Pigs, the podcast where two perimenopausal besties, Veronica Pig and Penelope Pig, survive hot flushes, brain fog and midlife mayhem together, one oink at a time.
So if you've laughed, cried or screamed at absolutely nothing this week, you're in the right sty. Let's oink about it. Hello, everybody.
Oh, that was really tuneful. Not quite PJ and Duncan, but it was a beautiful
Yeah, we've moved on. Yeah, I'm going into a bit of a harmony now.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to start harmonising a bit better. Less of the rap.
Okay.
Less of the rap.
Less of the rap.
Yeah, okay, so we're... Hello! Let's start again. Hello.
Hello.
All right, Penelope Pig.
How are you, Veronica, my love?
What a week it has been. And, well, I've been avoiding this on the podcast for the past few weeks because our whole point of this pod is to kind of make some light of the peri time in life and what we all go through because of the horrendous nature, but we do always find that humour in it. So I've kind of avoided this topic of what I've been going through for the past few weeks because it just felt a little bit too heavy. But I think I can make a little bit of light about it at the moment. So basically, my dad has been very unwell and we've been in and out of hospital and it's been very emotionally draining, going back always to the sandwich effect of people needing you from every direction and stuff. Time of life when all of a sudden you become the parent and
Yes.
that's scary and you're having to do a lot of the thinking and doing as well as trying to run your life and work and deal with all of those stresses.
And manage your own emotions over the fact that it's your dad.
That's it, and be the strong one in those moments, you know, with my mum and, you know, and everyone else around us. So, you know, thank God I've got you. So thank you, because obviously you've been my rock, as per usual. I can always come to you for everything.
You're most welcome.
But making light of the situation, because I've got to do that in these things. The thing that hit me today, so I've had it's sort of 24 hours of hospital now, isn't it? So I've just kind of not long got back and we're going back in a bit, aren't we, after we've finished recording this. But I think it was like that mix of total stress, overwhelm and tiredness. And I'd done the whole journey back today. And, you know, like, I know this journey very well now, so I know where all the speed cameras are and I know what the speed limits are. And I generally do drive always at the speed limit. As you know, I'm a goody two-shoes with that.
You are very good.
Don't like breaking the speed limit.
Those trotters don't go too far.
No, because...
You use cruise control to control this
always,
sometimes,
and that
don't
helps
you?
because the pig brain doesn't work as well as it used to. So I have to kind of use that to make sure I'm going at the speed limit. Because I did get done for speeding once and never again, and it did make me very aware of it. I went through those speed.
Do you think that's why they
things.
introduced cruise control? Do you think it's a perimenopausal thing? You know, like we always talk
Pig
about
control.
lanyards or
Yeah.
badges or car bumper stickers or whatever. Do you reckon that somebody put that in for people like us that can't remember what to do?
Slip it into
There you
Piggy
go.
mode.
Yes, Piggy mode.
Yeah.
There you go.
Slip it into Piggy mode and it just, and these cars that basically drive for you, we all need one of those. So, can't afford it, but if I could, that would be the car for me. Because I'd done that whole journey home today in a bit of a stressed haze and obviously sleep deprived and all the rest of it. And I was like, have I just gone through every speed trap? Like, have I basically lost my licence on the way home today? Because I went on to autopilot with that drive.
The whole thing, you don't even really know how you got home.
No,
You
and I
just
was like,
did it.
did I go through that 40 camera at 45? Did I go through the 30 at 35? I could not tell you. So I have no idea if I'm going to be expecting speeding tickets because I was literally on an autopilot on that drive home because so much other stuff was going through my head. And then when I went there, was it yesterday? I was driving up to the hospital and I went over a zebra crossing and there was a lady there crossing with her bike. It was a near miss and I literally had my window open and I was like, I'm so sorry. I should have gone like that just to give her the sign of what was going on. But it kind of made me think, you know, when you get the arsehole drivers that cut you up or do something ridiculous like that, nearly run you over on a zebra crossing, And I thought, God, we need to be mindful because you just don't know what people are going through, do you? Because when I done that, I just got the call. My dad had gone back into hospital on an ambulance. So I was just I dropped everything, got in the car, and I was on my way to the hospital. So my brain...
Your brain wasn't thinking...
I thought I was okay to drive. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. But also, I had no choice. I had to get, you just have to get there.
With this in mind, as your significant other Piggy, I will be driving you to the hospital this evening.
Yes, thank you.
For safety purposes, plus you probably haven't got a licence anyway, right? Now, so.
Exactly, it's probably gone. So that was the one sort of, serious yet sort of funny side of like, I have no idea how I got home.
Like you said, this isn't the first time that's happened to you, and we've all done that drive where we go, I don't recall getting here.
Yeah.
I've driven a route I recognise, I know all of those things, but then you go, but I don't really recall getting here, and it is quite frightening.
Isn't it?
It's
and it is like
weird.
You have these kind of mind blanks, and I think because your mind's just so channelled on other things, and the perimenopause absolutely, it affects that, doesn't it?
Yeah. Whether you're dealing with something like you're dealing with.
Take a major stress away like this, just sometimes driving home from work or going to the shops, I have had moments like that where
many people have.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
Horrible.
Like, what have I done?
It's horrid. It's not brain fog, is it? It's like, it's beyond brain fog.
Yeah. Like a bit of a memory blip.
It's like it's like it's running out. We talk about the energy and that you've got this battery. It's like your brain's just run out and needs recharging.
Yeah.
So it's just laying like on standby.
Yeah. And you have to complete these daily tasks, whether it's like maybe it's a school pickup for some people or a getting to work, back to work, or getting to the shop. You have to do all of those things. You haven't got a choice. We can't just have a driver. Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it? A driver to just pick you up and take you there. So you have to function, and it really does make it tough. And then add a bit of stress into the mix, and you're a goner. So that was one thing. And then my other thing, I have to laugh about because it's not a Peri thing. So we've talked about the weight loss jabs before.
Yeah.
So I'm still on these weight loss jabs, and I must say the stress diet helps with this as well because I've lost a few pounds. So it's the only plus I can take from this trauma that I've been going through. But I had sort of freshly jabbed a few days ago. So when you take Monjaro or weight loss jabs, for me it takes a couple of days to kick in.
Yeah.
So I do the injection. A couple of days later, that's when it really hits me, and it's like the food noise goes, and you don't think about it. Otherwise, I'm a 3 meals a day girl. I'm always thinking about the next meal. I'm always planning, and the jab takes that food noise away, and you don't really think about it, and you just eat when you're hungry. It's amazing. Yeah. So I was freshly jabbed. Some more panic stuff happened with my dad. Went into the hospital, whizzed up there, was in A&E. He was in a bay, and they were putting like the cannula in his arm. But it happened to be a student nurse that was doing it, and she was being supervised by, I guess, a full qualified nurse. And everyone's got to do that training, haven't they? So, and you've got no choice in the matter. So she went in, and I was stood there watching this needle go in the vein. And I'm not funny with needles like that. It doesn't bother me. But where she couldn't get the needle into my dad's arm, and it was being dug around and it was moving, and because he's on blood thinners, so there was a lot of blood. And then she goes, oh, I've exploded your vein. And this blue vein was like bulging, and it was just like Popeye. It was like bulging and bulging, and I was like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like that. And so then the room just went all spinny, and I sort of stood against the wall, and I just found myself sliding down the wall, and I was like, I went quite posh, and I was like, I'm ever so sorry, I'm feeling a little bit faint. As I slid slowly down the wall. And then, because I just thought, I need to get on the floor, because if I go, and it's like that sort of thing of, I started laughing to myself because I was like, this is so ridiculous. I'm here for my dad. I'm meant to be the support, and I'm
sliding down the wall.
I'm sliding down the wall with my ripped jeans, and so my knee was then bulging through the rip in the jeans because I'd not gone down in the right position. So my knee was birthing out of this rip in the jeans. I'm sorry, no dignity left whatsoever. And so then the nurses are obviously they're doing something right. They're in the middle of something. And I was like, I'm fine. I was like, do you know what it is? I was like, I think it's just because I haven't eaten today. So I'd had a banana that morning, but this was like late afternoon by this point. So I'd not eaten in a long time. So I think the faintness, it wasn't so much from the blood and that. It was perhaps triggered by... I think it was genuinely because I couldn't eat. But how do you say that when you're stood in an A&E department, don't worry. It's basically I'm on Manjaro and I'm faint because I forgot to eat because usually, I was saying this to you, wasn't I would have, before I got in that car, before this jab, I would have filled my handbag with a load of snacks, knowing, You'd
have had a full meal before you left the house.
Yes, I would have prioritised that.
You'd have planned that, because that meal would have been planned whilst you were scoffing your piggy breakfast that morning. You'd have planned your lunch.
Yeah, I would have already
nothing,
known.
not even the hospitalisation of your father would have stopped you eating that sandwich and that packet of crisps that you would have had.
Definitely, and I would have shoved something in that.
You'd have been eating it in the car at minimum.
Yeah. And obviously, so I just didn't have that. And so I then sort of started giggling to myself as I was fading, lying on the floor of this bay in A&E. And then I was like, no, actually, no, I'm all right. So then I sort of stood myself up again. And in the meantime, all of this stuff still going on with the arm and the cannula and that. And then I was like, nope, sorry. Like that. So I went, and then I sunk back down the wall again. And then my mum, she's got bad knees, so she's obviously now going, oh my God, daughter's now collapsing. He's there like...
There's burst vein.
Blood sort of spurting everywhere. And then so her knees go a bit funny. So she goes to lean on, they have these little cabinets next to the beds, but she forgot they were on casters. So my mum's got a bit of a, like the Del Boy in Only Fools and Horses, play it cool. So she put her arm up, leant, and just carried on going with the cabinet. It was just so funny in this moment of scary horror, like this. It's serious, you're in A&E, this is serious stuff, and it's very scary. But somehow, all three of us, me, my mum and dad, all ended up laughing hysterically about it. Because once the nurses had gone, I was like, it's just because I haven't eaten, I've jabbed, so they know. And I was like... Because I was like, I'm not used to being thin. I was like, I'm not a fainter usually, am I? I'm not a fainty person. Some people are actually a bit more fainty. So I'm not a fainter. And I was like, this is new for me because I'm a thin now. So we managed to have
funny.
a laugh. And I think it kind of goes back to our podcast. Even in these terrible situations, you have to find the humour.
You do, and I know you obviously extremely well, and I know your parents really, really well, because your parents have been in my life as long as you have, because they were around from day one of our relationship.
From our birth.
Yes, your mum sniffed me, didn't she, the day she met me, because someone had spilt beer on me. Yeah. So I know them, and I know you, and I know what you're all like. So for me, I wouldn't expect anything else from you lot in the hospital, because it's just a comedy of errors with you guys, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everything's dramatic. Everything's like a little bit of a sketch show.
That's it. Yeah.
The only disappointing thing for me is I wasn't there to witness it. I'm quite upset, so I can't wait to go and visit your dad later to see what treats there are.
I know. So I was just, I was saying to my dad, I was like, sorry, Dad, you were getting a bit too much attention there, so I decided that I had to feign on you. So, yeah, you have to, even in your most desperate moments, I think you have to, if you can, get a bit of a laugh from it.
Try and find something from it.
Yeah, it gets you through. And then obviously I save up the tears. I go home, and then obviously the second I get in the car out of there, I usually burst into tears. The second you come round, I usually burst into tears, or on the phone to you or whatever. So you can reserve all of that. But humour is a good medicine.
Humour's an amazing medicine, and that's like what we've said with the podcast. We try not to let it get too serious. We talk about things that are important, but we just... You have to find this.
Yeah.
It feels so surreal, I think, is probably the comparison, isn't it? Like what you're going through with your dad at the moment, like we talked about. We've talked about it so many times with parents, and I'm sure there's people listening that will relate to this. It's happened to them already, and it's really, really awful, or they're going through it. We all know it's going to happen at some point, and we've got to deal with this stuff. And you and I have talked about this previously, and then we go, no, I don't want to talk about it. We kind of avoided it a little bit, didn't we? And then in recent years, like my mum has been poorly in a very different way to your dad, and I've had that reality, and it does feel surreal, because you're like, no, because it happens to everybody else, but it's not going to happen to us.
Yeah.
And it's in a very different way. With the menopause and the perimenopause, you're just like, how can all of these things be happening to me?
Yeah, and when you already can't cope with just general stuff in life, but somehow you do, and I think
you adapt to it.
Yeah, you have to, because you've got no choice, and also I think there's a little bit of power that comes with like we've spoke about this as well, about the no fucks given, because But when you're younger and stuff, you care a lot about what people think or how you come across.
You'd have been embarrassed about sliding down that wall.
I'd be so embarrassed about...
If you'd have been really embarrassed about it, and funnily enough, ironically, much like you were saying something to do with your dad earlier on, where he's not been... You'd have got shitty.
Yes.
Because that's what you used to get.
Embarrassed.
You used to get a right cob on you did if something happened. You'd get a strop on, really defensive, and you'd get really like that. Whereas now, you just laugh more.
Yeah.
You're a happier person as a result of your perimenopause, where you don't take it so seriously.
That's it, because you can't, because you're constantly embarrassing yourself. You know, you're constantly forgetting your words, doing silly things, you know, putting... Like, when I made a sandwich for work once, this is quite a while ago, made a sandwich for work, wrapped it up in my cling film and that. And then what I thought I'd done is put it in the fridge to grab later when I was leaving. Oh no, when I went to the fridge, it wasn't there. Where was it? In the bin. I'd made the sandwich and then just put it in the bin. Because again, that autopilot thing. And then you do silly things like that, or you put random, you know, something that should be in the cupboard, you put in the fridge or the freezer, or I'd put some ice creams in the fridge instead of the freezer.
So my question here, did you get the sandwich out the bin?
No, I didn't. I just ran out the door then, because it was just like,
no.
Yeah, I'm not going, I go low, but I didn't go that low. Although that's just reminded me of a funny story when you said sandwich and bin.
Oh no. Oh, I know what's that. Yes, the bin sandwiches. Yeah, but they were never in the bin. We just used the bin as a way
we didn't have a plate.
We didn't have a plate or a table.
So again, this was...
So this is one of our... So what we've talked about before, and this is our recommendation to all Peri-Pigs out there, when you're going through those moments of life just feels really shitty and tough, or especially take out these big events like you're dealing with now, when we get into that space where we just go, I feel really old, I feel really boring, I feel like there's nothing to look forward to, I don't like being this age, where's life gone? We go, okay, so let's go and do something age inappropriate, let's go and make something fun to look forward to, and let's go and have some time where we don't have to be a wife, a daughter, a pet mother, or a employee, all of those personas that we have. Let's just go and be us and be wild feral pigs amongst the masses. So what we do is we take ourselves off to a Butlins live music weekend, because we find that is just the best thing for us to do. You've got somewhere to stay, you can sit around in your pyjamas, you can get pissed, you go out dancing, you go in fancy dress, so you're not going as yourself.
Yes,
you're going as this other...
So you can go looking ridiculous.
But it doesn't matter.
And the more ridiculous, the better.
The better, because you can just... Basically, it's a licence to be a complete knob.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So we go off and we do this. And this one time that you're talking about, isn't it, is when we stayed in one of the hotels rather than an apartment. And then we realised that we wanted, like, snacky snacks rather than a meal, because... quite frankly, we just wanted to drink at this point, didn't we? So we went to the shop and we bought some lovely crusty bread rolls. And didn't we buy like some sandwich? Pre-vegetarianism. What's that?
Yes, it was a chicken and bacon, wasn't it?
It was a chicken and bacon-y, mayonnaise-y, like sandwich filler, and these lovely fresh-baked rolls. I think, was it like Morrison's, wasn't
They
it,
were like salt and pepper ones or something.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And we somehow, I guess we must have ripped the rolls apart with our trotters, got the teaspoon from the coffee-making area and shoved the sandwich filler in, right?
Because we were quite drunk at this point already, weren't we? And then
I can't believe that. No. This was like, later. We'd been sat on the bench outside, having our drink your own in the sun.
Yes, we had.
Putting the world to rights.
Yeah.
So we had these sandwiches, or these crusty, flaky rolls, and then we were like, well, how do we eat them? Because we're in this lovely refurbished hotel room. So what we decided at that point is we sat on the floor with like your legs open, like you're sat in a yoga position, like feet to feet, with the bin in the middle, eating these sandwiches over the bin. That's what our life became.
Whilst crying with laughter.
But it was brilliant.
It was so funny.
That was a nice sandwich.
But I think that's very respectful, because we didn't want to get crumbs over the hotel room.
Well, you don't want crumbs in your own bed.
No.
Do you? You don't want them on the floor, because then we wouldn't have a Hoover. Yeah. And of course we can't tolerate that kind of mess ourselves. So it was a respectful way to eat. But we've always talked about the bin sandwiches.
It
They were
was, it's a core
delicious.
memory, isn't it? It was a good memory.
Yeah, we're going to have
Yeah.
to invest in a different sandwich filler now, though.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe a cheese and onion.
I was just about to say cheese and onion.
Prawn
That's a good
mayonnaise.
one. Yes. I
Tuna
like that.
mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Not egg
I can have
mayonnaise.
the
Oh, I
fish.
can't be doing anything with a cold egg.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So happy days. And yeah, I think so. It's always they always say like no good story started with us eating a salad. A lot of our stories always start with we were drunk. So, but yeah, that because you lose your inhibitions and you just get silly, don't you? You get a bit more silly and
That's
fun.
why
so.
we do it. As a caveat, we don't have a drinking problem. We don't ever tell anybody that you have to drink. We're not drinking today. We don't drink every week. We don't drink all the time at all. But there are times when we do decide we'll have a drink because it relaxes us and loosens us up and lightens us up.
And you eat a bin sandwich
And
as a
often
result.
it results
It's
in
wonderful.
eating a bin sandwich.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Have you had any happy or joyous moments this week to lighten me up a little bit?
I don't know where my week has gone. I've had this week that's just, I can't even remember. I've been at work all week. I've had a full working week. It wasn't a bank holiday. This is where I get very confused this time
Where
of year.
are we?
Because
What's
we don't
going
know about
on?
Easter.
Yeah.
So I've had a full just week at work. I've had a very good week at work. After getting the promotion last week, I'm feeling very positive. I've enjoyed work. I haven't started my new job yet, but I'm
Wonderful.
edging myself towards it. So I've had a really good week at work, some really
Exciting times.
positive comments and congratulations. So I'm feeling quite good at the moment because like we said, I feel like I've kind of got over this big hump of the perimenopause at the top of this hill where I've actually achieved something in the state that I'm in that I didn't think I would, and it's on a positive trajectory at the moment. Now, whether that will last, I don't know, because we go in these 2 weekly cycles of up and down. So whether that's going to last, I don't know. So nothing really has gone on this week. I haven't really been symptomatic. I'm having one of those good weeks.
Oh, you're having a week, yes. But
and
then
we
you've
have
had to deal with
them,
me.
which I love.
So that's-
I absolutely love dealing with you. My husband, on the other hand, has had something very bizarre going on. So I don't know if we speak about the hogs, as we now call them lovingly, the hogs and the blood pressure. I'm sure we mentioned this.
Yes, yeah, I think, we've crossed
We
that
may
a
have
bit.
crossed a bit there.
Well, in case we haven't, they've both selfishly decided to get high blood pressure themselves.
Yes, and we're not sure if it's a result of being married to us. We don't really know what's brought this on. Different things in their lifestyle potentially has caused this hypertension or high blood pressure. So he's much like yours. They've gone into this. So they've both decided to restrict caffeine or stop caffeine, haven't they?
Yeah.
And they're both trying to reduce salt in their diet. I love the way that they've merged and started matching like we do.
Yeah.
Like, what have we done to them? I love it. And I don't know if there is anything here that's linked in. He got the hiccups on Friday. Now, I can't remember last time I had hiccups. Weirdly, you said you had hiccups on Friday, didn't
And
you?
I haven't had them in I can't remember how long as well.
Hiccups are one of those things that you don't have for like years, maybe, without thinking about it.
I feel like it's like, as a kid, I used to get them a lot, but as an adult,
Probably.
not so much.
And what is it that... Is it the way you're eating as a kid or some things that you're doing or you're throwing yourself around? I don't know. So he got these hiccups on Friday. People might be thinking, and it's hiccups. He still got the hiccups. So no, it was Thursday, he got the hiccups. Or even maybe Wednesday, because I can't remember my days of the week.
So
He's basically had
days.
hiccups for 3 days.
Wow.
He hasn't been hiccuping constantly for 24 hours a day for 3 days, but he has had hourly hiccups or 2-hourly hiccups constantly for 3 days.
That would make me feel sick.
It made him feel sick.
Yeah.
He thought he was going to be sick.
And is he a dramatic hiccupper?
Well, yes, he is. Yes, it's a dramatic noise, this hiccup. But I get like how it's uncomfortable, it's making him feel
Can we have an
sick.
impression? I'd like to hear an impression of the hiccup.
It's the noise that comes after. Like, he's never bled for 5 days a month for most of his life, is he? That's why these men can't handle these situations.
Can you imagine?
What, them bleeding out of their hoggy winkles? What in the kidnap? They wouldn't know what to do.
They wouldn't
They'd go
cope
into
with
shock.
it. No
they wouldn't know what
way.
to do with it. What would you do? You'd have to you'd have to wrap something around the end of it, wouldn't you? Like a little
Tie a
hat.
knot in it. I don't know.
Like a little
A small cork. I don't know.
Yeah, right. That's a thought. What a strange thought. So yeah, I don't know what this is.
Moving on.
Moving on from that train of thought. So yeah, I don't know what this is. So we've been struggling with trying to understand what this hiccups is, which is very, very bizarre. So again, having a good week, it's led to more sleep interruptions. There's always something interrupting the sleep, isn't there?
So you've had a hog hiccuping in the...
A hog hiccuping.
Yeah.
So he's been evicted. He's been evicted again.
He's in the other room.
Yeah, so for those of you
Safer
that
for all.
don't know, or if I haven't spoken about it in detail before, when I met my husband, he did not snore. Or if he did snore, it was like very infrequently. He didn't snore for many years. He wasn't even snoring. He was probably snoring by the time we got married, but I can remember the snoring when we lived in a one-bedroom flat. We didn't have a spare room. But again, it wasn't all the time. He snores so badly now, we don't even share the same bed. It got to, we try every night to sleep in the same bed, and then we were just so tired because he would wake me up, so I would wake him up, and this would go on all night long. And it got to the point where we were both absolutely exhausted and wanted to kill each other. So we then started sleeping in separate beds, but now it's become a really long, extreme amount of time that we've been sleeping in separate beds. We don't want to, both hate it, but it's what it is.
I think it's actually very normal, though.
It's very common.
So many people do it. I remember when my mum and dad had like hotels and B&Bs back in the day, and lots of couples would book a twin room because they wouldn't like...
Yeah, there are couples that do like to sleep in separate beds, but we couldn't even do that.
Do the same room.
We literally have to sleep, and sometimes I have to get up and go and shut a spare bedroom door and shut him in because I can hear him snoring from the other room.
Because you've got that additional noise sensitivity that you said got worse through
absolutely
Peri
has, which doesn't help. And I home in on it now. I'm like, you know, like when you're just waiting for it to happen, because you get like that with the Peri, don't you? You get very like before it's even happened, because you know the impact of not having that sleep on top of trying to deal with being what we are just makes everything so hard. So we've had the hiccuping now, which has then led to this separation, and it's ridiculous because we're trying to practice sleeping together, because we've got to go on. We've got 1 week. We're on the 1 week countdown just about. To the holiday. And we've got to share a bed for a week in the same room. There's nowhere to go. Well, there's one place for me to go, and you know where that is, don't you? I'll be knocking on your door. Let me in.
Or you could he go out on the balcony? Could you just shut him out on the balcony? He'd wake everyone else up, though,
yes,
wouldn't
he would. He'd wake the whole... There'd be complaints coming from all over the place. People think it's some kind of dodgy air conditioning thing outside. Like, can I move to my room?
There's an earthquake happening.
I literally don't know how we're going to navigate this. It's going to be really interesting.
It's tough, isn't it? Yeah, it's tough because you haven't got the luxury of, having that second bedroom to escape to.
So it's going to have to be earplugs all the way. I hate wearing earplugs, but I'll have the earplugs. I'm also thinking I will just have wine every night before I go to bed. That will help.
If you get the right level, yes.
We'll be tired because we're going to be going out during the day, and we're going to be staying up past our bedtime because we're not going to be going to bed at 8 or 9 o'clock on holiday.
Exactly, yeah.
We'll be staying up later, we'll be more tired. And I think that might help if we it's when he goes to sleep, it's worse. So, it's going to be really interesting. And I won't be as stressed about the sleep because I'm not getting up to go to work.
Yeah.
But I want to be up for breakfast. And I'll be wanting to get up to see you. That's what I'm most excited about.
I know, me too. It's like the best bit, isn't it? The best bit of the day.
Yeah.
Seeing each other. That'll get us up at least.
So
and we're always going to wake up early.
Conversation.
Even on holiday, we'll wake up early.
We're going to meet on the balconies, aren't we? I've asked that our balconies are next to each other because they don't understand the importance that we need to be able to hold hands over. I didn't put that in the request.
It needs to be.
Hold hands
we need to be able
to
touch tips.
Touch tip.
Yeah. Touch tips. Or trotters.
Trotters, yeah.
So,
but other than that, I literally have nothing to report this week.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Other than it's been, like, you felt good, that's the good news story here.
It is really nice. I don't have a symptom of the week to share with you this week.
Wow. That's winning. So you have been winning.
I have been winning. And I don't actually think anything's got me in a rage, either. Other than the hiccuping and not sleeping, but nothing... I don't recall having a paddy this week. I don't recall mumbling to myself or getting annoyed about folding clothes up or anything. Yeah, I'm having one of those weeks that are few and far between. I mean, like out of 52 weeks of the year, you probably get 2 of them. So I'm just...
I had a bit of a moment, so I've just remembered I've had a rage moment this week. So one of my dogs had a bit of an injury on her nose.
Oh, yeah, how is the smell?
So, yeah, it's scabbing over now, but she had a bit of a scrape on her the top of her snout. So I was trying to bathe it with some salt water and some wound spray and stuff, because it was like basically keep it clean so it heals over. Because obviously it's quite, it's an area like there's licking and stuff going on and all of that. And she's always got her beak in everything anyway. So I was trying to, that was it. So I'd caught the other dog licking the wound. And so I was like, oh God, right, okay, I need to clean it. And so I'd got the salt water bath ready, and I've got my bit of cotton wool, and I'm trying to get her, and then she just wasn't having it. And, it's like, I'm trying to help you, and you're not letting me help. And so the rage built. And so, again, on top of the stress that's been going on, and obviously the non-sleep because I've been worrying, and the stress just takes it out of your body, doesn't it? Anyway, it's exhausting just living through these things. But yeah, and I was trying to chase her down, and she just wasn't having it. And so, yeah, I shouted at her and swore at her, and I was just, oh, well, then you just get an infection then. Don't worry about me. You just get an infection. I'm just trying to help you. So I'm like literally having a go at my gorgeous, beautiful baby. And I just saw the rage, because it's like, look, I'm trying to get on here. I am working.
You're trying to do a million different things at once.
And you're not. And of course, she doesn't
complying.
Get it. She's just a baby. She's just a baby. She's my little baby. She's a dog. So she doesn't get it, and she doesn't get that I'm just trying to help her. But funny enough, after I lost it with her, she did allow me then to wash.
Right, so
wash
she realised she'd pushed mummy over the edge, didn't she?
Yeah.
So she is a little baby.
Yeah.
But she's a little narcissist as well at times, isn't she?
Yes, definitely.
She knows how to manipulate you in these situations.
Do you think she enjoys watching me get into that state?
Yes. She does.
She feeds off it. That's classic narcissist then, isn't it? Because she's controlling me.
She is controlling you.
God, what a little bitch.
Isn't she?
I still love her though.
Oh, I do
still
too.
love her.
She's adorable. Absolutely adorable.
Oh, God, yeah. So, yeah, that was the rage moment. But I'm going to give myself that. I'm going to give myself the allowance of it.
I think you have got allowances for everything this week.
Yeah.
It's been...
I've got a free pass.
There's other stuff going on as well that, that we won't go into. But there's just been so many things going on. It's been a very, very stressful week for you this week. So for me, even if I've had symptoms or had rage, I've just parked everything because I'm just all in for you this week. Like it is all about you. It needs to be.
That's probably like a good tip of the week, isn't it? Is allow yourself these things.
Yes.
If you have a moment of rage,
it's fine.
And you know that not acted appropriately, you've gone a bit over the top, you've had a go.
You've behaved out of character.
Yeah, you've been out of character or something. It's done. You allow it. You allow yourself it. It's okay. We're all going to mess up.
Forgive yourself.
Yes.
Like you would forgive someone else.
Yes.
I tell you what, I actually had to have a similar conversation with myself, funnily enough, now you've said that. On Monday, I was supposed to be going to the office the following day, which is, I think I've talked about before, it's like in Basingstoke, it's like an hour and a half away. And I was supposed to be going there the following day for a meeting that was happening like in the afternoon. And when I've got to go all the way there for one meeting, I'm like, it's such a long way. So I will then go, right, who else can I see and meet with, and how can I make use of that day in that particular office if I'm going to be there?
Right.
So I'd made some plans with some other people for the morning, was having this other meeting in the afternoon. 5 o'clock the night before, meeting gets cancelled.
Oh.
Now, my lovely boss that I was talking about last week, because she'd realised I was offline, she texted me and said, FYI, that meeting tomorrow has been cancelled, because she didn't want me to drive all the way to Basingstoke for a meeting that wasn't going to happen. So I thought, great. And then I thought, I've booked these things with other people, but I'm not going to drive for the sake of it. And so I quickly went on my work phone and dropped a couple of IMs into Teams, but I could see people offline. I really worried about that.
Oh, because I was like, travel unnecessarily.
I didn't think they were, but I was then like, I look really flaky. I look like I'm just letting people down. It was to do with my new job, potentially. And I felt like that. And I completely worried for no reason, because actually both the people I'd messaged responded to me, like the next morning I'd seen. One of them saying, yeah, like no worries at all, I'm going there anyway because my team are there. And the other one was like, oh my goodness, absolutely fine. Like I don't blame you. Like the fuel prices at the moment are sky high, so why travel? You don't need to. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I haven't
anyone.
upset
or bothered. And nobody's thinking, you know, when you say that useless and people think, oh, you're crap. You don't care. I did go through a little bit of that impostery, weird brain thing.
And it was the complete opposite of what everyone thought,
Yeah. So just be kinder, just because I'd have said that to them. I know that's how I'd have responded. Of course you would.
Exactly, yeah. So maybe you need to flip it sometimes and go, well, what would I do in that situation?
My point, exactly,
you know, like going back to what I was saying about the car, when I messed up and, you know, I went over the zebra crossing, I didn't allow the lady to cross because my head was just totally up my arse. I was rushing to the blooming hospital, and I did think in that moment, what an absolute idiot I was. And then I thought, that thing of you don't know what other people are going through, do you? So it's like, be kind to yourself and be kind to others when you can, because it's not always possible to be kind to everybody all the time. This is ideal thinking, isn't it? Like blue sky thinking, but it's sometimes good just to be mindful of it and just, be a bit kinder to yourself.
We all get frustrated, though. Like you said, we are all that person that if we were the person at the zebra crossing, we'd be going, oh, you wanker. You know, we all get like that. We just, you don't think that people could be,
And this way it goes back to maybe if I had a Peri-Pig bumper sticker on, she could have made an allowance.
Yeah.
A blue light.
She would have just not gone near that zebra crossing until you'd gone past going for, well, you weren't going to be capable
knowing that it's, I wasn't capable of driving. But so, and that just goes to prove it, doesn't it? That's not what people are thinking of you most, you know, like when you have to cancel or something like that. So be kind to yourself.
Be kind.
Everybody.
Forgive yourself.
And others. Forgive yourself. And, namaste.
Make allowances. Nama bloody stay indeed.
Yeah.
Make allowances for yourself like you would make for other people when they're going through something.
Exactly. And if all else fails, find the blooming humour in it, because if you don't laugh, you'll cry. And that is so true, isn't it?
I mean, you've done both, let's be honest.
I've done all of those.
I've literally done them straight after each other.
Rage, crying, laughing.
You sent me laughy faces telling me something about your dad just, and I was like, what's wrong with you? Ha, ha, ha. I fainted. Ha, ha, ha. My dad's got angina. Ha, ha, ha. And I was like, OK, she's hysterical. She's tired.
That's it, yeah. You go into hysteria, but made it.
You've made it.
Made it through.
You've made it.
Here we are again. We've completed another week. We've levelled up, and we can just carry on. And the holiday is nearly in sight, isn't it?
It is within grasp.
We've got that on the horizon at the moment, so that's the focus. Have you got everything you need? Have you got all of your outfits? You all sorted?
I still haven't sorted them out.
Right.
I'm in my memory bank of my brain. I think going back to your thing about not caring so much, years ago I'd have overthought everything. I'd have had to bought new clothes, I'd have tried everything.
Yes.
I look fat, I look ugly, I look like a no, I'm quite good with it. I'll worry about it the day before we go.
You're going to just shove it in the case and go and have a good time.
That's where I've gone.
Liberating.
Now. It is liberating because it takes away that holidays can be spoilt because you worry about them and stress about them so much.
Yeah.
You know, you were saying the other day about your friend who sorts all the holiday out and the man doesn't do anything and all that stuff. Like, we haven't got to think about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not worrying.
Yeah.
Because I know that my clothes just fit me.
And that's a good place to be, isn't
I don't have to try them on because my last summer's clothes are too small.
Yeah. Which, let's face it, I know I certainly have had a lifetime of having to do that, where I know that last year's clothes don't fit because I've put on weight. So actually this is quite liberating for me to actually go, my problem is, do last year's clothes not fit because they're too big? Oh, wow. First time in my entire life I've actually had that problem. It's always been the other way round.
Yeah, well, I've had that problem. Yeah. But it's become your bonus as you're sat there in that lovely skirt.
I know, yes. I'm doing very well.
You're doing very well.
Yeah, and my weight loss, because, all of your clothes now that are too big for you are now the perfect size for me.
It's amazing, isn't it? And I think that my advice to everybody at this point, when you find a piece of clothing like that you love, this may sound bonkers at the time, just buy it in 2 sizes. Because I've got my favourite denim shorts that I bought last year, and I bought them, and then, you know, when you've got certain things, they get a bit loose after a few days of wearing them, and then they look a bit baggy.
Yes.
So I then bought the smaller size, I don't know if you remember, when we went away last time, I had the 2 pairs with me. So I now know that I've got my favourite shorts in 2 different sizes.
Yeah. So start of the holiday, you wear the smaller ones, and then if you've had a particularly good go at the buffet that evening, or you're feeling a bit bloated in general from whatever,
or if you spilt some ketchup on them.
Yeah. That's the other one. Which has happened.
I've got clothes now. I don't always throw your clothes away.
Yeah.
Because I've done that one before.
Yeah.
Bigger clothes, smaller clothes. Like you said, I've lost weight. I've put on a bit of weight. I then got rid of some lovely clothes because I was never going to get back into them. I'm really annoyed about that now.
Because you can.
I've got a couple of hauls at home. I've got a delivery. Oh, the delivery came today. I forgot the visors are.
We've got our matching visors. Visors. Oh, can't wait. And I've also got us our matching
T-shirts.
Piggy T-shirts.
Excellent.
So we're going to be... So, yeah, if anyone is out and about and sees there's 2 women in matching straw visors and 2 matching pink Piggy tops with Miss Piggy on the front.
Come and say hi.
Yeah, that's us.
That's us.
OK, everybody. Well, good luck to all in whatever you're doing in the week. And thanks for joining us once again. And be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
And each other. That was a Jerry Springer one, wasn't it?
It was a bit Jerry Springer, yeah.
Be kind to yourself and each other. Oink, oink. Thanks for hanging out in the Peri-Pigs sty with us.
If you had a good time, give us a follow or hit subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And if you know someone who'd enjoy this too, share it around and spread the Peri-Pig love.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok.
Come and say hi and drop us a comment to let us know how you are.